Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about X-Men from the year 2000. This movie helped kick off the current culture that we live in with superhero movies and superhero fandom as a whole. I love this movie. I was just a kid when it came. I was 9 years old when this movie came out. I was 9 years old when X-Men came out. I remember going into the theater with my grandmother, my grandma, and my little brother, and we went. And as we were walking down the hallway to go see a different movie, it might have been like Batman and Robin or something. I don't really know. But we were walking down the hallway to go see a different movie altogether, and there was a poster for X-Men. It says, "The evolution begins," right? And that poster was so cool. It had all the X-Men, together, and then the Brotherhood of Mutants down below. Said X-Men, had the release date. Oh man, it was beautiful. And then the bigger the hype got, the more banners that would come down, the streamers that would come down by the concession stand, and they just lined the concession stand. You'd have Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey. Oh man, it was such an experience for me. It had left such an impression, clearly. I even remember getting the VHS when it came out and going to Walmart and being so excited for this movie. One of the first posters also was like it was just like the X doors were opening like maybe about like this much, and you could just see everybody looking down. Like everybody was just coming up to you. Wolverine's claws, Cyclops' visor, Professor X. It was, oh man, such a great hype for this movie. I also can remember, because I was in Boy Scouts at the time, I think I was going from being a bear cub to a weeblo or something like that, and I won these $25 gift cards to Toys R Us. You guys remember Toys R Us? You guys remember Toys R Us, right? And I went and I bought all the X-Men figures I could get. I got like 2 different Wolverines. I got a Cyclops, 2 different Cyclopses. I had the Cyclops that was just a standard action figure, and then one that had the Jean Grey with. I also had a Rogue figure, and the Rogue figure I had the one that had the she had the uniform on and the black trench coat. So all of this to just kind of say I love the first X-Men movie. I love the second X-Men movie. I love scenes from X-Men 3. The Last Stand, and X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class is kind of like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't hate it, but I haven't rewatched that movie a whole lot because, once again, there's aspects that I like about that movie. There's also a lot about that movie I just don't like. That just doesn't appeal to me in any way. It's whatever. Days of Future Past is perfection. Apocalypse is fine. Dark Phoenix, it's okay. It's okay. It's a little bit better than X3. It's okay. Just a weak note for such a wonderful franchise to go out on. But we're not here to talk about any of that. We're here to talk about the scene that I think left the biggest impression on me when I was young. And it's the Statue of Liberty scene. Clearly, it's going to be from the Statue of Liberty fight. And it's going to be, I think, right when you see Wolverine going from being this roguish personality to a hero. Now, Cyclops is my favorite X-Man of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I think Cyclops is the coolest X-Man. He's the one with the greatest amount of weight on his shoulders. He gets the hottest chick. He has a dope power that he can't turn off. It's not like Wolverine or anything. The guy, he's as smart as Captain America. Maybe a little bit smarter with the fact that he can shoot his blasts in the comic books to such a trajectory. He can hit almost anything from anywhere, given the proper utensils, given the proper surroundings. He can do whatever he needs to do with his own optic blasts. He's awesome. He's gone toe to toe with Magneto multiple times and won. He's kept hotheads like Wolverine and Angel and other wonderful personalities, in check. He has kept the band together even after Charles Xavier died multiple times in the comic books. He's helped keep the band together. He's a meeting ground between Charles Xavier and Magneto, and then in the middle there's Cyclops. And I think Cyclops is a great character, never done justice in the movies. Not at all done justice in any capacity in any of the movies. The first X-Men movie gets the closest because they show him as competent. They show him as an actual leader, you know, even when he's clearly upset with Wolverine after Wolverine has Jean Grey read his mind a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, if I had to tell you to stay away from my girl, she wouldn't be my girl." And he just kind of turns around and is just like, "You know what? Just for kicks and gigs, stay away from my girl." Like, it's just kind of one of those it's just kind of one of those things where it's just like, "Yeah, bro, I'll go ahead and say it. Screw it. Yeah, man. What's the worst that could happen? What? You just sit there and continue to look like an idiot? Yeah. Stay away from my girl." Like, Cyclops he's literally just as much of a boss as Wolverine is, in all honesty. He really is. But when you get to the Statue of Liberty fight, the whole and I don't know if, you know, him getting his taser his visor taken off is the equivalent to Wolverine getting kicked in the balls. But well, when he gets that taken off, he makes that bad judgment call of, "Hey, Storm, shoot him, you know, bolt him, shock him, whatever, you know." And it's kind of like, well, okay, really? Come on, you're smarter than that, Scott. But I think it was honestly just because he was angry that the team just got taken out so quickly, and then his visor got taken off, you know, and he's just frustrated. But I like that part when you can hear Rogue screaming out for help. And what's wonderful about that is, like, everything's so grounded, and the X-Men are so they're so incapacitated. They are so unable to help. Like, they can't do anything for Rogue. She's stuck. They're so close to getting her rescued. They are so close to completing their mission, only to have Magneto come in and be the villain that he is and throw them all up against the wall and you know, chain them up. Then, you know, Wolverine, he has that moment where he's just done. He's just so mad. He's in this dopey uniform that he thinks is dopey, and he's just like, "You know what? You're so full of bull honky," as my grandpapa would say. "You're so full of bull honky that if you were really so righteous, it'd be you up in that thing." I love that line, and I love because that scene when Magneto's given the exposition and he's talking to the X-Men, he's kind of gloating. It's that typical villain trope that you see in movies. And Wolverine he's the audience, you know, because he's not putting up with the monologuing. He's not putting up with any of that. He's just going to call the guy out for what he is. He is a crock of crap. He's useless, you know? Like, he's an idiot. He's a trash-talking loser. And that's what Magneto is to Wolverine. And he cheats because Wolverine's bones are, you know, metal. His claws are metal. We got that really cool scene on the train where Magneto's just kind of playing with him and teasing with him before he throws him against the wall. I think that's also another great scene. But Wolverine then becomes like, he becomes the hero. You know, he becomes the hero and he saves the day. He saves the day in the sense that he saves the girl. The girl that's helped him realize that he doesn't need to constantly be a brooding jerk. He doesn't need to constantly be this guy who, you know, just wants to get into fights and everything. This girl helped bring him out of all that and made his world larger from a me perspective to a we perspective. He went from being just this loner to where now he's part of a team, and it's a team that he's starting to care about. I mean, at least he cares about the cute redhead, and he thinks Scott's you know, and the professor seems like he can do a lot for him. And then all that starts to kind of get, you know, torn down a little bit with Magneto and Mystique. And so he's frustrated and he's angry, and Hugh Jackman is just so brutally honest in that scene. Wolverine is so brutally honest in that part when he just looks right at Magneto and just says, "You're so full of bull honky." And, you know, if it were really so righteous, it'd be you up in that thing, because he's 100% right. If you really believe this, you would sacrifice yourself, Magneto, to do exactly what you're putting this poor girl up to do. Then we get that scene where, you know, he shoots his claws through his own chest and then falls down, gets that really awesome fight with Sabretooth on the Statue of Liberty, the fight that defies physics. Once he gets thrown over, catches himself with his claws and spins around on the crown, comes back up. Like, it's so, that could never happen, but it's so cool looking. Like, even rewatching that movie in 2020, that still looks fun. It still looks exciting. It still gets you jacked. Like, you're still like, "Oh man, come on, what? He just did that? There's no way." And then when he finally rescues Rogue, he's late. He's too late. Rogue is all but dead. You know, he got so close and still almost fails. And in that moment, he's realizing, because he thinks he did fail, which is why he's holding on to her, and he's I think on the verge of crying. Like he did not want this girl that still had a whole life ahead of her, and who meant so much to him, and the little time that he knew her, to die, to go out that way. And then the music kicks up, starts to swell, the Logan and Rogue music, which is my favorite score in the movie. Like the nicest, prettiest score for such a tragic scene. You see Logan willing to sacrifice himself like a hero, like a real hero, because that's what heroes do. He starts to sacrifice himself, allows her to just take all that he has. He's trying to save her, and she wakes up, and she's healed, and then you see the fight with Sabretooth just all over his face. He's missing chunks on his ribs, the scars right here where he stabs himself, they start to pour out blood as the music swells bigger, and it just really hits. And you think, honestly, Wolverine's about to die, because there's no way he's holding on to Rogue like this. He's dying. Like, there's no way he's getting out of that. And he falls back, and he's seizuring out a little bit, and he obviously didn't die, right? I mean, we got all these movies with Wolverine now. But in that moment, I remember being a kid in the theater and seeing that, thinking, did he just die? Did they really kill Wolverine in this movie? In the first movie, they killed him? Because honestly, I was too young. I was 9, right? I wasn't thinking they were going to be building up more movies. But, whatever. So, that movie, the very first X-Men movie, with all the hype that went into it, the characters that they chose for the movie, and the actors they chose, it all blended really well, and it created such a wonderful movie. A first outing with these heroes. The second one, for a lot of people, is better, and I think it's really awesome. I think the second one is really good, especially the opening with Nightcrawler in the White House. That's dope. The fight scene with Lady Deathstrike and Wolverine is dope. Biggest person to get shafted in that movie, you know who it is? It's my man Cyclops. It's a real bummer, because for what happens at the end of X2, you would need more Cyclops and Jean stuff to happen and to build, so you feel more of that weight and empathy and sympathy with not just Wolverine, but with Cyclops, the dude who's been her main man since day one. But anyway, that's a different discussion for another time. I just want to talk to you guys about the very first X-Men movie, how much I love it, which is a lot. I love that movie a lot. Bryan Singer sucks as a human being, but very first X-Men movie, fantastic film. And anyway, guys, comment below, let me know your thoughts. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.